Hello and welcome to this random video that should be a week ahead, but I'm not going to should myself. So here's what happened. I recorded a whole week ahead reading, super duper long, edited the whole thing, went to go post it on YouTube and realized the formatting wasn't in a way that YouTube was going to accept. And I was planning to record a second video on Monday and then release it, and life. We're in between eclipses, and instead of shoulding myself like I would normally, I decided to just share this instead, even though it's Thursday night. I have no idea if this is even going to go up tonight. But I think I can still talk about the energy of the week because we still have the whole weekend. And I'm still intending on doing a new moon and fall equinox video. Yeah, so we'll just see. I think I'm going to keep this brief because I think this little mishap that happened this week is also teaching me a lot about what I want to bring forward. I'm finding that for whatever reason in this period of time, it is feeling like a mouthful and too much pressure on me to talk about all of the astrological transits happening every week. There are so many people already doing that. And while I love sharing that, I'm finding that it's pulling away and taking up too much time from what I really love doing, which is, well, I love astrology, but I really enjoy on this space bringing forward channeled readings and tarot card readings. So that's what I'm going to intend to do. And if for whatever reason I get some interest in more of an astrology based talk, then I'll consider that. But I think for now, where I'm feeling the most called is to do, again, tarot cards channeled and maybe like sprinkle in some astrology, but also work with the moons. So here we are. Thank you for listening to that. And yeah, for just being here. I really appreciate it. This is so vulnerable to put yourself out there like this. For me to put myself out here to be witnessed in this way. So let's talk about the energy of this week. I don't have my cards with me, and I might try to insert images from the video I took originally. And maybe I won't. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. But I do remember the cards and the energy, and I just want to share what that was feeling like and how I see that working for the rest of the week. So the tarot cards we pulled for this week were the 5 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, and the 5 of Pentacles. I'm noticing that this eclipse season is really baring our souls. Like we're really being exposed in some way. I wonder if that feels resonant for you, but I know that that's how I'm feeling, is exposed in so many different ways. I'm becoming so aware of patterns, familial bonds, or lineage contracts that I've signed, like patterns to carry on, that I am choosing to break. But it's not without friction. It's not without challenge, especially in Virgo season, which talks a lot about discernment. I'm noticing that perhaps we'll have to be more discerning this week around what people are saying, how people are acting, what they're doing. There were some interactions with Mercury this week that is inviting me to notice if people are doing what they say they're going to do, if I'm doing what I say I'm going to do, and if I'm saying things and then it doesn't feel resonant anymore, am I able to just be like, hey, so-and-so, this, I know I said this, but I am feeling like I can't follow through, and this is why. Or am I just choosing to hope that that person doesn't notice that I didn't follow through on this thing I said I was going to do? Because we had double 5s this week, it makes me think about we're in this time of friction, and there was a lot in the cards about feeling lack or feeling barren and grief in some way. I was thinking about, there was messages coming through about financial structures, which is really interesting given what's happening in our larger system if you're in the US. And how much of our feeling of lack, maybe materially, like maybe financially, or the resources we might need to do something we want to do, how that is affecting our mood. And vice versa. How is the way we think about something, say like feeling anxious about work or feeling anxious about money, and how does that impact our ability to bring in the resources we actually need and deserve? The universe wants to co-create with us. This week, I feel like this becomes really obvious if we choose to look at that, just being more aware of where does that feel true for you. As a general energy of the week, the 3 cards we pulled were the Gem, the Self, and then the Judge. And as a general energy, it's making me think of, how do we judge ourselves? How do we judge our beliefs? How do we judge our lives? How do we judge others? How is that a mirror to us? And how, if you're judging someone on what they're doing, how do we turn that around and see like, what is that bringing up for me? There's a lot of wisdom this week in that space. I think in noticing how our feelings of feeling lack, and then that like anxiety, grief, panic, discomfort that brings up, and how in turn the 7 of Swords is in the center. I'll see if I can post the picture here. In turn, we're not able to show up as our authentic selves in our lives. It's also an invitation to notice again about the authentic self and how that's affected by the noise that's happening out here, right? Like on the news, and just the ways that we're being stimulated right now. Things are not as they seem. That is a message that is coming through quite clearly. Things are not as they seem. There's things beneath the surface. There were some cards that I pulled and I can't remember. And again, maybe I'll try to post them. Oh, I remember now. There was Koala Spirit. Stillness. Oh, thank you, Spirit. The middle card was stillness. In all of this noise, how can you come back to you? How can you get still? I remember now, I'm seeing the image clearly of a person in a boat in the water, and the water is really still, and there's a mountain in the background. But it will be important, if you choose, to get still enough this week to sit with how you might be showing up. Are you being your truest self? Are you showing up as a version of you that is based on anxiety and like being so activated? That was an energy of this week I'm remembering, is lots of activation, lots of triggers from other people, from the powers that be, from ourselves, like our own wounds being stirred up. And again, because we're in Virgo season, some reflecting around perfectionism. I'm thinking about like personally, for instance, I really didn't want to do this. I was like, I didn't do the week ahead video. It's not perfect. I'm veering away from what I said I was going to do on this channel. And that was keeping me from just being vulnerable and coming out and sharing this. Where are you shitting yourself because you're not perfect, or whatever your image of perfect is? And how can you do the thing anyways? Because expressing it would feel better than wishing that you had. Finally, I remember the final card was Moth Spirit, I believe. And surrender now. Oh, that was a message. Surrender now. Surrender now. Surrender now. The ways that you might feel activated this week and triggered and exhausted and exasperated. Like, how can we hold that Spirit has a plan? That we will soon be shown what is not being shown. We will see the truth. We are meant for truth. I remember as well in the video that I posted, and it feels relevant now, that from the beginning of the video, it was like sunny and then cloudy, and then it poured, it rained. And then by the end, it was sunny and the sun was like in my face and like blaring, and it felt so much like there's a cleansing happening for us this week. There's a cleansing happening behind the scenes. We didn't know we needed this cleansing, or maybe you did. And that I get a sense that we might feel confused this week about our path. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about their path and whether they're on the right one. It's hard to tell right now. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of noise. It's hard to know what is right for us. And by the end of the video, so it felt like at the end of the week, around the new moon, clarity comes. This bright sun shining a light on that which is hidden. I'm curious to see how that manifests in the collective, or even in our lives, in our day-to-day lives. This feels complete. I would love to know how this felt for people, if this was easier or less enjoyable than the astrology and the cards. I will have cards next time. This is just because of the error with editing. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope to have a video up in the next day or two regarding the new moon in Virgo, solar eclipse, the second one in this cycle at the anaretic degree, the last degree of Virgo. Ooh, I can't wait. I think it's going to be a good reading. Good luck, and I'll see you on the other side.